Hey everybody, welcome to the Patty G Show. I'm your host, Patty G. We've got a special episode this week. We've got Frank McLavy and Ashley Parker, father-daughter duo in the clothing industry. We're going to talk all about getting things started 40-some-odd years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, 43 years.
43 years ago, and how they've been a Baton Rouge staple ever since. But before we get to that, I want to give a big, wonderful shout-out to the amazing sponsors that make this show possible. Government Taco, Falaya Real Estate, Mallard Bay Outdoors, Horizon Financial Group, Currency Bank, and Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge. Without further ado, welcome to the show, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How are y'all doing?
We're good.
Crazy time of year for y'all, right?
Getting ready for football.
Cranking up for football.
Okay, so for those that aren't aware, who are y'all and what do you do?
Well, like I said, we've been open 43 years, and I started down at the Varsity shop. I've had two careers, a Marine officer and a retailer.
Two drastically different careers.
I went to work when I got out of the Marine Corps. I always wanted to be in the clothing business, and it was 2 years before I even got out of the Marine Corps. I helped a friend of mine next door that ran the PX, and he was asking me about different brands and stuff. He said, I can get any brand, and I said, well, why don't you get some Gant shirts? He got, I don't know, 3 or 4 dozen or 20 dozen Gant shirts in one day, and they sold out in one day. And he goes, you know any other brands? I said, yeah. I gave him a few other brands, but he just didn't, he had never been around, better men's goods and stuff. So I told him a couple other shirt lines. He got those too, and he sold out pretty quick.
So Marines and clothing.
Yeah, that really mixed the...
I don't see how that mixes. And men's fine clothing, too.
Well,
not even like a T-shirt brand or something. Like men's fine clothing.
I did it because I wanted to afford myself, because I always liked clothes.
Okay.
My mother used to buy me stuff from a certain department store, which I didn't like. And I always liked the Varsity shop clothes. I liked more traditional goods. I told her, I said, Mother, I'd rather have one shirt from the Varsity shop than 20 other shirts from, brand X.
Okay.
And she never listened to me, but anyway.
So what is the Varsity shop, for those that may not be familiar?
Varsity shop was actually, I don't know if I'm correct, but I think it was the oldest men's store in Baton Rouge at one time.
Okay.
It started in 1917 by Todd Garland's dad. And Todd's dad sold men's clothes while he was going to school at LSU.
Okay. And so they were like fine clothes, or?
Yeah, he always carried really nice clothes, and my dad always bought stuff from the Varsity shop and my grandfather. So that's the first store I went to, and they had Con Turner at the time was open, but I didn't know Mr. Con or Mr. Turner, and I'd met Todd years ago, and so that's who I went to first.
So you just got back from the Marine Corps and said, let me go work there?
Yep.
Okay. And
I told Mr. Garland the first day, he said, why do you want to work here? And I said, I want to learn everything I can, and I'm going to open my own store.
So you went in telling him I'm going to open my own store, which would basically be a direct competitor to his.
Correct. And I did.
And he said, okay. I mean,
yeah, he hired me, yeah.
Okay.
Because he knew my family knew a lot of people and stuff, and so I think that's why he hired me.
So you went in with this initial ambition of, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm going to learn the skills of the trade and then go straight into my own store.
Yeah, because the retail business, as I see it, you can't go to college and learn that business. I mean, you could probably take some accounting courses and economics and that kind of stuff, but it's a totally different thing. You got to be 20 different hats at one time when you're in the retail business. So
right.
And my family, the Harriman family, had been in business over 200 years, and my dad's father's family were in the business for 100 years or so over in Texas. So it's kind of in the blood.
Retail, yeah.
In the blood. And then my wife's father was in the car business. He had a car dealership, and unfortunately was killed in an automobile accident when he was 38 years old. She was 6 years old. So I've just been around business all my life. So
Yeah, so the entrepreneurship veins run deep
I guess got a
within
little
you.
blood there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that's how many generations of business owners at that point? All of them?
A bunch, yeah. Well, it's funny. My dad was a high school principal. He was like the second highest paid principal in Louisiana. But, after 3 or 4 years, I was making more money than he was. And I would have loved to have gone into education, but there wasn't any money in it.
Yeah.
And I could make a lot more money being a retailer. So that's why I went that direction. But I got advice from him. He said, whatever you do, make sure you love it. And so
Absolutely.
it's been that way I've been in it 50 years, over 50 years, 52 years. And I still enjoy going to work. I don't go every day. I'm starting to back off a little bit. Back off on.
I was about to ask what the daily
Monday and
operation.
Thursday,
She's, I'm getting a face over there.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We have a good system.
But I still like it. Still, the most fun of the business is meeting new people and getting them in there and taking care of them and make them happy.
Well, and making sure that they're representing you well as a brand.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they put the trust in us. We have, unfortunately, a lot of our stuff that we sell lasts too long. I walked out of the house the other day and my wife said, "What's the good looking shirt you got on?" I said, "It's only 35 years old."
and it's
It's
from
one of the first custom shirts we did when we got a custom line for the store.
okay.
And
So
I'm telling you, the stuff that we sell really holds up.
yeah, the last 35 years. That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. Of course,
It's traditional.
I got a few shirts too.
I was about to say, I'm sure you have quite. You don't wear the same shirt every day.
No, I don't. No, I had quite a few shirts.
So, backing up a little bit to starting the store, how did your parents take it with your father being in education? How did they take it when you said, I'm going to open my own store and leave the job?
He was fine with it. He said, I said, I know you're happy with what you're doing.
And so where was your first store at?
It's on Jefferson Highway. It's still the same.
So y'all been in that same store since
we've been
opening day?
1979.
3 years, yeah. 1979.
How many tenants were in there?
2, Dearman's and Piggly Wiggly Grocery, where Calvin's is now. And the
Okay.
rest was empty.
No, they had the barber shop.
Oh, no, barbershop.
And there was one ladies' clothing store there. I forget. She finally just retired.
The Hill family owns it now. Dr. Hill had just bought it, and I think in 78, and he was in the process of renovating it, and he knew my dad.
Yeah, it was a gift shop, the store we were in. We were right next to we were actually part of the TG&Y. There was Piggly Wiggly, and then TG&Y took up like, I don't know, 30 or 40,000 square feet.
Dr. Hill was trying to change it into a specialty shopping center.
But he
Okay.
And
chopped
so-
up the
The big retail spaces he turned into smaller spaces.
TG&Y into about 6 different spaces.
Okay. So when you opened the store, did you initially set out that you were going to have your own brand, or was it kind of you
We did
developed
that, but I
into
carried. We opened. It's funny. We opened with Haspel and stuff, and we opened May 10th, which was really not a good time to open.
Why?
Well, that's almost the end. That's almost the end of the selling spring season.
Okay.
So you kind of between a rock and a hard place. But I went down to Haspel and I bought about 60 units, suits and sport coats, and went back the next week and bought another 60 units. And Mr. Haspel, which is Richard Lipsey's father-in-law, he said, "You boys are going to do well."
And he said, I'll keep supplying you
That's
with
right.
suits and whatever you need.
Well, I had when you open a store, you got plenty of money because you borrowed X amount. But we had some of that good Jimmy Carter money, 22% or whatever.
So
Paid that back pretty quick.
I was about to say,
Real quick.
22% is not too favorable terms.
That's what it was.
22% and so this is back in
79 and 80.
79 and 80s, 22% interest on the money. Wow. Okay, so you get the doors open and you immediately knew who you wanted to carry and what brands you wanted to carry. So outfitting the shop, did it look any different than it does today? I mean, today it's got a very
Well, we kept
Southern
we
feel.
kept adding to it. We've
Okay.
done a lot of custom, a lot of woodwork, and we got this French baker's racks and stuff that you can't buy today. And So it's real personalized, almost every piece. And we had like that big table we have in there where the ties are. That's 2 parlor doors out of New Orleans. We put those together and had a carpenter make a huge wide table. You can find long tables, but you can't find them wide. So
Right.
and we used a backdrop in the window. We had some parlor doors, but we also made tables out of those. So,
But we did have a lot of chrome in the beginning because we were on a budget, and so
Yeah.
we replaced over time all
With
of the chrome
brass.
fixtures with
So
brass and wood.
antique fixtures.
A lot of custom. We had like our sock rack holds like, oh my God, what, 60, 80 dozen socks or something.
okay.
It's
And most people
cypress.
kind of hang them on a little deal, you know. And then we have a custom belt rack made out of cypress and stuff like that. So it gives it a little more homey look to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely got a homey
Custom gift
vibe
wrap.
for it.
We wrap a lot of gifts.
Yeah, we give free gift wrap everything you know that we sell if you want it wrapped.
Okay.
We're one of the few places that, if not the only store that does that.
Not gift bags. We wrap it like put it in a box, wrap paper, make a bow.
Put the names on it and everything.
Most of our customers are women buying for their husbands
Oh
or
yeah, at least
boyfriends,
70% of our customers are
and they
women.
like
70?
At least.
it's a lot. Men don't really go buy clothes unless forced to.
Yeah.
Usually,
I can
generally
agree.
speaking,
I get them
agree
in
with
there
that.
one time, get their sizes, and that's all I need to see them.
And you have a file with
Oh, yeah.
with the clients.
We keep their
we
links,
make it
everything.
easy.
I bet that does. So, when you left Varsity, how did they take that when you said it's time for me to leave and go to my own store?
Well, actually,
what was that conversation like?
Todd Garland's family owned part of the Varsity shop.
Okay.
And he sold out to Gottschall's in New Orleans.
Okay.
And so I worked for Gottschall's for about 3 months or 4 months, or whatever it was. And then waiting, I'd got to go over at night and help Todd build his store. Because the department store, I don't care what anybody says, does not know how to run a specialty store. They try, but it just doesn't work. And I couldn't wait. In fact, all the managers quit the day that Todd opened his store, was getting ready to open it.
Okay. So
And I
y'all-
said, I'm going first.
So we actually
I
worked
probably
two
could have
places.
doubled my salary, right there. No, I know I could, but I just didn't like working for those people.
yeah, you wanted to go out and do your own thing.
Well, and Todd still ran it but we weren't quite ready to go. I wasn't quite, had to get a few more years. I had basically 9 years apprenticeship, whatever you want to call it, for opening my own store.
Okay, so you were 9 years in the business, and then you kicked off and did your own thing.
Correct.
Okay, and so from there, you never looked back and keep on trucking along.
That's right. one foot in front of the other.
That's it. So, what was it like growing up in that environment?
It was fun.
I mean, were you growing up in the store?
I was going into 6th grade.
Okay.
It was the summer I was starting 6th grade. I got sent away to camp for the summer. My sister and I, so they could
Away.
get the store.
Sent away.
It was a fancy camp. My grandmother sent us there, and we had a good time. But it was fun. I think the age that my sister and I were, we got to appreciate how much our parents worked. They worked. It changed our life because we used to be the type of family who ate dinner every night. My mom cooked every meal, did all that, and we went from that to them working all the time, never taking a day off. And luckily, where we went, we grew up in Delma Springs, but we went to school at St. James and Episcopal, and the bus would drop us off at my grandparents' house in Jefferson Place on the days my parents were still, they'd work late. So we'd get dropped off there. Then we got to visit with our grandparents until my parents could pick us up after working. And so, I don't know, we grew up there. And we got to have fun getting to know all the employees. And then when
They did a lot of rapping.
I learned how to rap,
You can rap a mean present.
And we
That's
used to
the
have
first
a
thing
lot-
Todd Garland asked me when I went to work. They said, "You know how to rap?" I said, "You talking about talking, or what you talking about?" He said, "I'm talking about rapping a present." I said, "I don't know the first thing about rapping a gift." He said, "I'm going to show you right now."
but
And that's the first thing he taught me is how to wrap a gift.
right. But I know so many of our customers, they've seen me grow up, they've seen my children grow up, because when I was having children, I made a nursery in the back, and my kids came to work with me because my husband was in medical school, and they came to work with me. And we just turned one of the offices into a nursery, and everybody knows them. and they always ask about the girls, and our customers are like family to me. I've known all of them for a long time.
So is the nursery still existing in the back of their store?
Back to an office.
Okay.
No, my kids are in college and law school, so they're grown.
And so growing up in that store, like you knew from the get-go, this is what I want to do.
Not really. I just kind of
Didn't have much of a choice.
I was needed. I guess I was needed. I did go to market with my dad and Mr. Eachler, who was our original partner. When I was in high school, they took me to Dallas and New York to kind of, learn the business and just to just to have some fun. We had a lot of fun on those trips. But I got to know all of our sales reps. They would come spend the night at our house when they would come in town, and they got to be friends with my dad. They're like family too. Same sales, some of the same. In fact, the salesman we were meeting with tomorrow, I've known him since about third grade.
He sold me Gantt shirts at the Varsity shop.
So I'm 54. So I remember him from before we even owned our store.
Okay.
Like he used to stay with us when I was an elementary student. So
oh wow, that
like
is a long
40
time.
something years, and he's still in the business, and he still travels. He lives in Mobile, and anyway, there's a lot of friendships in the business. All the retailers know each other because when we go to Dallas, we all see each other and get to have a cocktail party there, and we all get to visit about how our stores are doing, and everybody's friends.
Sounds like the retail market's a place to be in Dallas.
Well, men's is fun. Women's, I just went with my sister. That's a whole nother experience.
So y'all have a women's store
My
as
sister
well,
does.
or
My sister does.
My oldest store, yeah.
She opened her store 20 years, 1999.
Okay, and what store does she run?
Travis Limited, and she's in our shopping center.
Okay, I was about to say I've seen that.
Her
before.
clientele is mostly about 30 and up.
Okay.
And yes, I went with her to market this last week, and it's entirely different.
Better man than me going in.
I mean, men's is one corner of one floor of the World Trade Center, and women's is multiple floors, and a lot going on.
There must be 300, 400.
I mean, think about it.
lines?
There's not that many men's stores.
Well, there's not many men's stores.
Compared to
and then,
women's, there's a lot of women's boutiques.
well, and then you can look at the accessories of the woman's
Yes.
outfit is never ending, whereas the
Oh,
men's it's not. There's not a whole lot of combinations
Well,
and
they change
accessories and
sizes
add-ons
too so
and
much. I
everything.
mean, and fashions got short skirts, long skirts.
It's just totally different.
I mean, you're
man,
wearing a
it's-
35-year-old shirt, so obviously men's fashion doesn't change that
Not
much.
traditional clothes.
No, not traditional.
everything.
The way we sell, like the shirt I've got on now. It's been hard to find a solid shirt. So I had this friend of mine that had multiple lines. He said, "Well, what you want?" I said, "I'm looking for a kind of linen and cotton blend." He said, "Well, I've got that." Picked out
12 colors.
10 or 12 colors, and it's 85% cotton and 15% linen. And we sold 80 shirts in 2 weeks
From a new line.
from a new line. People went, said, "I mean, what colors you got that in?"
And they wanted one of every color?
Yeah.
So going to make your own line, what went into that?
Well, we have our own sportswear line called Louisiana Lodge,
Right.
in which, got a little logo, I got a crest, and we built something on that, and we sold that real well. We've been selling it for what?
It's the 90s, early 90s.
Well, mid-'80s, really.
Maybe so.
It's been around quite a while. But it's a shirt they have made for us, and it's an 8-button front, all cotton, wrinkle-free, and I got people, that ask for it when they, they'll call the store and say, "What you got? What's your new Lodge shirts? What you got in?" Because it stays in your pant long, better, and doesn't come out. And the shirt, like that one you've got on right there, it'll look like that 10 years from now. It's telling
Yeah.
longevity of the stuff. I wish some of that stuff would wear out a little quicker.
So, yeah.
Give them to buy more
Give 'em
shirts.
buy more
People just get
shirts.
tired of looking at them. They need a new one.
So, I mean, designing that though, how did you go from, or when did you know it was time to go out and make your own line instead of selling someone
carried
else's?
Polo Ralph Lauren for
Okay.
we had it exclusive for about, myself and Todd Garland had it for about 2 years. But we'd get this one shirt in, a solid shirt with just Polo had
Kind of like what you have on.
they had a trout on it.
No pocket.
Yeah, no
It had
pocket.
no pocket, and it was about an 8-ounce twirl. It was a pretty heavy shirt.
Okay.
But we got the first shipment we got in with 500 shirts.
That's a lot of shirts.
We
Yeah.
sold. Well, this one company in Kentucky that made them. We sold 1,500 shirts between August and November. We never had any for December. We did that 3 years in a row.
So that sounds like it's a pretty good selling shirt.
Yeah, and only advertising we did was the Reveille newspaper out at LSU, and I gave each one of the boys that worked for me one of those. I said, "This is your new polo shirt," and they started wearing it, and it just caught on and sold it well. But I've been having trouble finding that fabric ever since then, and that's been 20 years ago or whatever. So I'm still working on it.
So, and that was your first line, or that was a
That was
polo
the
line?
first item.
It was
big
like
item.
a copy of the polo. It was that
Okay.
same.
It was a
the
self-branded.
Because we
Right.
got one
Okay.
that's similar in from Polo, and we'd sell it in 3 weeks. I don't care how many I bought, they'd be gone.
And
So
Polo started being sold. They opened the outlet store
Yeah, right.
in Foley, and then they started selling to department stores. And they would get it. The dealers would get it in before we ever got our order, and then they'd put it on sale before we ever even got our order.
I have a saying, and when you're everywhere, you're nowhere.
And so we said we need to develop something that people can only get from us. So that's kind of how he
Yeah, that's why I did
came
that.
up with the idea.
Okay, and so you were able to come out with just that shirt initially, and then what was it like spreading out from that one shirt design?
We've added a few other.
We had a
items.
company in up in Monroe that made pants for a long time for us, but a lot of the clothing manufacturers have gone out of business when all the trade opened up with China.
Mm-hmm.
You basically have to have some type of contract with an overseas contractor. And so what we've had to do now, the ones we get are made actually in Honduras, and they're owned by the same company that started making a shirt for us. So it's kind of, they pool their resources, and everybody kind of piggybacks off of that. So we don't own a factory. We don't have enough quantity to do that. But it used to be we could buy it locally. Like there was a company called River City
Yeah, in Monroe.
in Monroe, and
did a lot of
they
business.
made pants and shorts for us. And they were made right here in Louisiana, which was great.
But there no manufacturers left basically in the United States. It really hurt the.
It's coming back a
retailers.
little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, but there used to be tons of knit lines in North Carolina and South Carolina,
Okay.
and shirt lines all over the country. But they just don't make them anymore.
So how many do they have left in the States now?
Not many. They're coming back. Like I know in my sister's business, there are some ladies companies in Florida that are,
And not so much in the men's.
and there's one company that we know of in Florida that makes some. They even make T-shirts there, which knit things especially are not made here anymore. There's a few clothing factories, but not many. Clothing meaning suits and sport coats.
Right.
That's the industry term for that. And there used to be tons in the South. There were lots of them all throughout North
Like
Georgia,
Georgia and stuff. Yeah.
North Mississippi, and all. They don't exist anymore.
It's got too expensive for them to make stuff? Okay. And so how has that kind of shifted y'all's model with being able to purchase everything local, and now everything's got to come from overseas?
Well, we just have to buy from those vendors that represent, China and Honduras. We're getting a lot of stuff from South America, which is pretty good. It's made very well, and we're trying to get away from China as much as we can. It's like these shirts. These are made in Spain,
Okay.
so and we've got stuff made in Turkey, and we're basically trying to get rid of the Chinese business, but they own
it's
so
hard,
much.
yeah.
They own so much of it. It's hard done.
But there's definitely a trend away from it. Some things
Yeah.
are being made in Vietnam again, and a lot of our
Yeah, Vietnam's been pretty good.
vendors are having good luck there. So people are trying to move. It's not as easy as you think, though.
And yeah, imagine so. I mean, once you've got basically the monopoly on the market that they do over there, it's kind of hard to go anywhere else when they're either a fraction of the cost or they're the only supplier available within that certain SKU number.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we've got our clothing, our suits and sport coats. We got a company it's from China, but they use Italian piece goods,
Okay.
and
So they just assemble it in China.
It's beautiful goods.
But they own their own factory.
But they own their own
If
factory.
you own your own factory, there's a lot more quality control.
I'm selling a suit basically at $600. It would be $1,200 or $1,500 if it's made in America.
That
Same
steep of a
suit.
price difference?
Yeah, that big a difference.
So, wow, I didn't realize it was that big of a difference.
Now the pant company we sell is Canada, and they're made in Canada.
But it's Italian piece goods.
Right, but it is made in North America. They're made in Canada.
It's the largest pant company in North America.
Okay.
Fallon.
So, when it goes to planning the releases of different product lines, I mean, are y'all seasonally changing out your inventory?
Yeah, we change out a little bit, but we've really narrowed our buying down to a small amount of vendors, so they come see us, and we don't have to go to market as much as we used to. But when we carried polo, we'd go to New York and buy polo. We spend 2 or 3 days buying that and fill the whole store up with that one product.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have two seasons.
We could buy everything from them.
We basically aim for spring and fall delivery, and there's just a lot of what we call core items like white dress shirts, blue dress shirts, blazers, khaki pants. There's a lot of items that we just constantly restock. They're not really a seasonal delivery, but then within that, like those companies will make things. It'll be like a seasonal color and something, or a different fabric and something that we're usually keep in a year-round fabric. They might make it in linen or something, but we do buy for twice a year. We bump up from our basic reordering, and we do mostly like spring orders come in starting in February all the way through May, and then fall we already got a lot of fall, even though it's 100 degrees
we live
outside.
in the tropics.
But they like to
we
get
don't buy
it.
too much heavy stuff.
But
I was about to say, you don't need a lot of heavy coats.
But men
we don't.
like fall colors. You see, we have
do.
like our shirt, our Louisiana Lodge shirt. The fabric for spring and summer is the same. It's just colored differently, and so it's not any heavier. The fall ones, they're just fall colors.
Different colors.
See, I like a good Easter color. Like
Yeah,
the
we have lots of
pastels,
that.
the brighter
Yeah.
colors. That's what I end up
Well,
wearing that year round.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And we sell-
like this shirt. We can probably sell it year round.
Yeah,
got
it's a lighter.
But we had a lot of people looking for short sleeves, so I'm gonna buy this. Hopefully they have it again. It's short sleeve and long sleeve.
Okay.
We keep a lot of color though, because our customers they want something different. They don't want. I mean, we do sell white dress shirts. Obviously, you can't have enough of that, but we try to give people a variety.
Well, I think that's also kind of a trouble with men's clothing is how do you keep it fresh when
It all looks the same.
it all looks the same? You know, so what do y'all do to help them with that?
We do new
a
colors.
lot of mannequins,
a lot of mannequins, a lot of new colors.
and we have different fits. Like right now the trend is people want more fitted clothes, and so
Well, I get some of the young ones coming in and said, "You want a suit that doesn't fit right?" And they give me that look,
but we can do that.
because they wear their pants up to the knees, and and it's
Oh, the
they-
short
they have to
cuts
do
and
it-
everything.
Yeah, they have to do a pirouette to get in the pant,
But we do sell we sell from 36 short, which is a small guy. Like I'm
That's a guy.
130 pound
Yeah,
person.
5'4", 130
We sell
pounds, dripping wet.
Yeah, from 36 short all the way to 54 long. We keep in stock. That's
Okay.
a big. We have a
That's
wide.
a big difference.
Yeah,
and obviously, a man in a 54 long does not want the skinny fit. They don't want that.
Right. They've
I
got
mean,
different
that's-
appetites for different
Right.
they
styles.
want a suit that fits.
Yes.
But even people my age and my dad, they all want a more updated look because the women do not like baggy pants. And there's different degrees of fitted, obviously.
Yeah.
There's an updated look without being too
Yeah,
tight.
well, it's definitely more casual looking. We're selling a lot of jeans.
Colored jeans,
Colored
yeah, like
jeans and
khaki
that kind of
jeans,
stuff,
and
so.
yeah.
It's changed a little bit, but it hadn't changed.
Right. Well, and then there's that, like you said, those pieces that are 35 years old, that timeless fashion. But for men, it's like, are y'all kind of staying on the trends for what's up and coming or what people are wearing? I mean, with people going to more business casual for the everyday wear, how has that shifted y'all's outlook on what to
Yeah,
carry?
Like we don't buy as many ties as we used to, but like what I have on is a sport coat and a sports shirt, and we're selling a lot of pocket squares. People are buying this instead of a necktie.
Right. It's kind of that added piece to
And
it.
fabrications have changed so much. Like now everybody's doing performance fabric. So even shirts like you have on button down, we have those in performance fabric and performance pants. I mean, things that,
Easy care.
that has changed. A lot of people are just now deciding they want a performance polo. You wouldn't believe how many people have not bought one yet. They just stick to cotton, and they'll come in.
So they're not behind the performance wear.
They are, but I'm saying
They-
for a lot
yeah.
of our customers, it's new to them. Not your age group.
Well, they
Right.
they like the new fabric because
But-
we tried to sell some of those cotton mesh shirts last year and we couldn't give them away.
No, but what he's saying is, how do y'all keep it fresh? And one thing is the
Yeah.
new fabrics. I mean, that is
New
fun to
fabrics
sell.
and new colors.
We have sport coats made out of bamboo. People love that.
The
It's a great-
bamboo I've heard
bamboo
is really good
yeah.
stuff.
So the industry's given us different fabrics. That helps too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in Baton Rouge, it's the guys are kind of always looking for how can I style myself differently to where it's not the same thing. Bless you.
Right.
To where it's not the same thing. And so,
Right.
do y'all help them with that? Kind of
Oh, yeah.
lay out their wardrobe, and what do you do, and what are you telling them this time of year to start looking at to get?
Yeah, I love to get a new customer in there and we'll start showing him some stuff and I look at him. I can tell he's hesitating a little bit. I said, now, I look at him. I said, now look, why would I want to make you look bad? So that's the last thing I want to do.
Right.
I want you to be the best dressed, best looking guy when you leave here, And he kind of lightens up a little bit. But when it's first time customer, you get a kind of hesitation sometime when you throw out a new color or something like that,
Well, I think us guys are kind of nervous to put on a different color or something we're
Yeah.
not
But
used
I mean,
to.
our job, as far as I'm concerned, in the store, is to make you look good.
Right.
But I'm not going to sell you something that makes you look like an idiot,
Usually when they're looking
Because
at
your friends are the first one going to say something.
right, but like when people come in to buy a suit, we have a lot of people coming in to buy a suit for their wedding. Their parents bring them in. They want to buy their son a suit, or the dad of the bride, or whatever. They're either updating because their suit's old, their charcoal suit, they're tired of looking at it, or they want something else. And we kind of feel them out and say, you want something. We recommend if you don't own a suit that you should own a charcoal suit. If you're going to own one suit, it
So
needs
why-
to.
Or they
Why
like
is that?
or a modern fit. They want something a little, more
Because
tapered.
charcoal, well, you can do cocktail for that, funerals for that, interview for that. You can cover all the bases, just change up your ties and dress shirt. And that's just if you don't own a suit, if you own one thing, that should be it. And same with a blazer. You should own a blue blazer of some sort. And you see a lot of guys wearing blue suits now. Blue has come back again as more popular.
Yeah, like this.
More of a
shirt
French
I've got.
blue. Like this is called American Navy. It's not as dark as the navy we used to sell. And we kind of just feel them out to see how much they wear clothes. And I'll make a recommendation that they can get a lot of use out of it. Something that when you buy a suit, spend that much money, you want something you can wear more than one time a year.
Right. And in
and-
Louisiana, it's kind of hard to wear a suit every day when
And I
it's
mean, not
95 degrees.
many professions wear suits every day.
Yeah.
It's usually social events that people need these for.
Yeah, we used to have a lot of doctors used to
They
dress
don't-
more than they do, but they don't. They mostly wear scrubs to work these days. But we had a doctor years ago that he would wear a new outfit in the morning. And he'd come home for lunch. He'd change into another outfit.
A suit.
He wore two different outfits every day.
Every day?
That would be either a suit and sport coat or a sport coat and suit. Yeah.
That's dedication.
It's not like that anymore.
I don't have that dedication.
Well, he had money, but
that's just not-
he liked clothes.
But people
Right.
don't do that anymore.
no,
No.
they don't.
I
And
mean,
so most of our business is driven for social things or for our interview. If a young man's finishing college, the parents want to get him a suit for their first interview, or their friends are all getting married. That type of thing.
Do a lot of weddings.
A lot.
so y'all do actually like weddings for groomsmen and
I mean,
all
people
that
do
stuff?
come by. Yeah, they'll pick out and they make their groomsmen buy a suit.
Yeah.
That's what I'd prefer, honestly, in a
I
wedding.
mean,
So, like renting versus buying.
Well, yeah, renting, $250 for a tux or whatever, you can almost buy a tux, but you can buy a cotton suit or seersucker suit for $300. So, what's another $100 when you
And
got
you
something
own
you can
it.
wear
right.
many times,
Well, especially when you're that age where you've got 5, 6, 8 friends getting married in a year, you buy that
That's right.
suit at the wedding. Now you've got a good suit to wear for multiple occasions, and if you don't change sizes,
Exactly.
you'll be good for however long.
And we use that table Dad was talking about. We have that huge table in there. And we lay down what you're buying, and we'll give you all the different options of how to match it with things. So, you can buy one suit and 4 ties and 4 pocket squares, and you have a whole lot of outfits.
Well, and I think that's needed for not only people in my generation, but those a generation above us,
yeah.
is that assistance factor.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're coming in a little nervous about getting outside our wheelhouse and putting something on that either our girlfriends or our wives have said, why don't you dive into something a little different? Why don't you add some color? Why don't you add some flair? Wear something different than your cargo shorts and a holy t-shirt. Like, get something different. Like, there's no need for, you're at that age, you're in your mid 20s, mid 30s, where it's like you need to start dressing a little bit better than you did in high school. And we get nervous going in because we don't have the first clue as to what in the world is going to look good on our bodies, because we're all differently built.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of men are colorblind too.
It's true.
It's shades. Those shades, they're all one shade. You got blues, reds, green, yellow.
I read somewhere where like half of the men's population is colorblind.
I believe it. And we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
We don't know what goes well. We don't know if you buy 3 suits and 4 shirts, you've got 40 outfits between mixing and matching and everything.
We usually like the girl to come in, either the girlfriend or the wife. She'll make him buy more, and that's why we have more colors.
And they're the ones who, if you don't buy the right thing,
they can pick out the colors. They're good at picking out the colors and stuff.
Yeah.
So we like the women to come with them.
We treat it like our house.
Buy more.
We like it to be fun. People come in because a lot of men are apprehensive about shopping. They've either had negative experiences or they don't know what to get, and they get home and
they don't like to shop.
Their wife or their mom or somebody gets mad at what they buy. So we try to make it fun. We serve a beer or whatever you want to drink, if you'd like that. And we don't pressure people. We let them look around and just are available if they have questions. And then we kind of go from there. We don't have a high pressure. And we greet you when you walk in. That's number one. We don't try not to ever ignore a customer. And sometimes we're busy and we'll tell people, as soon as we're done with this person,
they can see when you're busy.
But we just try to be very friendly. I think that's the key to long-term success, is we make people feel welcome. It's like our house.
Well, making them feel welcome and also letting them know that what they thought looked good may look good, but maybe also kind of steer them in a different direction to where you're providing that guided shopping experience. Because I know I don't shop very often. I spend 10, 15 minutes. All right, yep, that's it, and I'm out.
Like that's how
most men are. Yeah.
But if you're going in there for a gentleman who doesn't really have a wardrobe, and they're like, I don't know what to wear. I go to work every day, and then I do X, Y, and Z, and I want to have something that I can own within my own fashion sense. What do you recommend to them walking into the store to kind of places to start and things to look at? What are y'all seeing with people coming in?
Well, we ask them what they do, like what they need. Do they need the clothes for work, or do they need them for a social event? And then we kind of steer them based on the fit, because we kind of have our store arranged based on fit a little bit. But once we kind of talk to them more about what they want, it's pretty easy to help them. We're pretty good. I mean, we can kind of figure out. And if people are willing to try things on, we tell them, look, just one time, we put it all in the computer. We do. We keep everything in the computer, and then they don't ever have to try it on again. Like, we can look in their purchase
for their
history,
sizing and everything?
Everything,
right.
Yeah. Like the brand that we sell, the sportswear line, Genteel, we sell lots of their polos. I had several people come in today. What size did I buy before? And we look in the computer, or what did they buy for their husband? What color? We look it up, and we keep records of all of that.
So you keep like a shopper's profile.
Oh, yeah, we don't ever get rid of records. We have records from 20 years. Because men,
40 years.
Well, the computer system's from 1999, so it goes back that far.
I have the old system on.
You got the old paper system
on my computer.
But we do, like, we have the Ballon pants I was telling you about. We have men who buy them like 5 or 6 at a time, and they'll say, "Oh, I need a new set of pants," and I don't want to try them on. So we just look in their profile.
You don't have to, because they consistent on the fit. That's one thing about men's wear. It's very consistent.
Yeah, we don't change very
Once
much.
we know what model you like, we put it in there.
The shirt or pant that we
sell. The fit style, yeah.
The fit doesn't change.
But we have a section in our software where you can put notes about what they like and everything, and that way they can just call over the phone and say, I need another pair of these, or what did I buy before? I want that again. And we try to make it easy because, like I said, it's service. That's what keeps us open. That's the difference between us and going to the mall. No one waits on you when you go to the mall.
Right.
They don't know you. They don't remember what you bought a year ago.
Yeah, they're not going to have.
I mean, they just
don't know what they're talking
not
about.
set up for that.
Yeah, they're not going to have a system in place where they can walk in and say, "Oh, all right, yeah, Patty, you walked in and you bought, X, Y, and Z. This was the size you had on. Did you like that fit when we measured it? You still around the same weight, same all that.
Right.
Have you adjusted anything? Nope. Okay, then this is the size you need to get,
Right.
and this is your palette that you
Right.
like. It's a whole lot more personalized than going somewhere else.
And we have a lot of customers who have like several son-in-laws, for example, that they buy for, or sons. And so when they buy, like I had one lady on Saturday who was buying early Christmas, and we ring each purchase under the guy who's getting it. So she can look in their profile and see what she bought them. Instead of putting it all under her name in the computer, even though she's the one paying for it, we ring them under each person, the recipient's name.
Yeah.
That way we can go and see exactly what each one of them has from our store.
Well, then if a wife or a girlfriend's going to go buy something and the husband or boyfriend's bought
Right.
something there before, you can
It's
say,
not
"Hey,
all mixed
this is
together."
my
Right.
this is my guy I'm shopping for. What are his sizes? What does he generally buy?"
Right.
Now you can
Cuts
point
down
him
on your
directly to it.
returns.
Cuts down on the returns. I mean,
Well,
that's
and
a huge
they
thing.
love getting something.
They want something new.
they like.
something
Yeah.
different.
And we try to make it easy.
Yeah, we like new stuff. We just don't like to tell you we like new stuff.
And don't like to shop.
The other
And
thing
no,
that-
I don't like to
And the other
shop.
thing we do that a lot of big stores don't do is we do an approval system. So like if your wife came in and said, "I need to get a suit. We're going to a dinner party tomorrow night," or a sport coat. I don't know what he's going to like. He's at work.
Take it home and let him look at it.
If you know general size, they can take home 3 sport coats, whatever they want to take home, and show you in your own home. Like,
Oh, okay.
lay it out on the bed, look at it, match it to what you already have in your closet, and then bring back what they don't keep and just pay for what you keep.
So it's like a test and trial and before you buy.
That way they
type
don't have to
system.
run their credit card and do all that. Because anyway, it just, a lot of men don't have time to come in there.
That's very true.
I mean, they have the same hours we have. And we make appointments, obviously. We have the keys. We meet people on Sunday when
Like I say, it's not the mall.
we deliver, we do whatever.
So do y'all have like an online shopping experience? So it's okay. So you don't have a website?
No, not yet.
So
We
it's
do
all
have
in
Facebook,
store.
Instagram, and
I was
TikTok.
about to say, y'all, I know Frank's on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that now. I've fought, you got a new follower today if you didn't get notification.
We sell a lot from social media, and they'll just message us on Instagram and Facebook, and they'll say, "I love that shirt Frank had on. Do you have a large?" And we ship UPS every day, so we just do it that way.
So y'all got it set up so you've incorporated social, just not a website.
We're on the
just
verge
yet.
of doing it to like shipped or one of those, but one of the other managers is about to have a baby, and so she'll be out to the end of the year. So that's going to be our 2023.
2023 goal.
Yeah, it won't be hard.
No, and I think that's a lot more people shop that way now.
Yeah.
They like to see it on somebody that they know.
They do.
And I think that's another thing. Within Louisiana and Baton Rouge, if we see it on somebody we know and they're modeling it, as opposed to having a stranger modeling it, it's like I don't really know how tall or what size that person is. I know like Lululemon does a great job of saying
yeah.
this model,
Right.
Jackie, she is
Yeah.
5'4" and weighs X number of pounds,
Right.
and she wears this size.
Right.
So like, oh, it's more relatable. I know, okay,
Right.
if I'm within that range, this is
Right.
the size I should get. Whereas, you can say, hey, Frank's wearing this shirt.
Right.
Okay, well, I've seen Frank. I know Frank.
Right.
We're close to the same size. We're far off.
And one of our other managers, Hannah, she takes a lot of the pictures for social media, and we try to get, if someone comes in that's willing, hey, can we take your picture? And sure. And because one of the boys who works for us, he's a 30 waist. He's a college kid. Now he models a lot too, but not everybody's that size, obviously. So
Right.
whenever we do sell a suit, sometimes customers will they'll send us pictures that we can post, but men in general are not very much into social media, not
No,
like
they don't want to
girls.
get into that deal.
Like a girl would love it if a shop wanted them to send the picture. I know because I have
Can
young
we
girls.
take some photos of you and model
Yes,
in the
they
store?
would love that. But men are like, well, I don't know. My friends might harass me about that. Like I don't know how much abuse I'm going to get for that. And so it's a little hard sometimes, but generally we don't have trouble with that. We sell a lot of homecoming for high school, believe it or not.
Okay.
A lot of fraternity stuff, a lot of weddings, a lot of father of the bride, just all kind of stuff.
So it's still that personalized element of clothing and that personalized element of shopping and designing wardrobes that you'll have. It's not just come in,
Right.
here's
Well, so
our products.
They're like a friend to it.
It's fun.
You know.
We try to make it fun, and everybody knows everybody.
Well, that's just
I'm
Baton
sure you've
Rouge.
learned
That's
that.
just Baton Rouge in general.
We're either related to them or our friends are related to them. Somehow we all get to talking, and there's some kind of connection.
Well, yeah, I mean, we just, before the show, we talked, y'all had an employee that is a lifelong friend of my parents, you know, and then y'all are related to the Harrimans, and
Yep.
it's just, you've been around a while, and you've been in business a while.
It's a
here in
big,
town.
small town.
Yeah, Baton
Yeah,
Rouge is the biggest
Don't say
little
too
big
many
town.
negative things about anybody.
And they know, and they're going to see it one way or another.
Yeah.
They'll find out.
And we don't do that. We don't gossip.
So there is one other topic I wanted to get into: sock game. So you've got what looks like some sharks or some fish on your socks, and I love doing little unique socks
do.
and everything.
We specialize in that. We've got
I was going to say, how has that industry, socks, changed over the last 40 years?
sock industry's gotten much better, and it's kind of taken the place of a tie almost. Everybody loves, bright different socks. We got
We used to help the lady.
anything with a dog on it they love, and that kind of stuff.
Our last customer on Saturday bought 10 pair of socks for a gift.
10 pairs of socks?
$25.
My word, 10 pairs of socks.
Yeah, $250 worth of socks.
Well, I mean, so I get it. So I will, whenever I get dressed in the morning, I will look at my socks, and I like to have my socks complement or match my shirt.
Kind of go
Right.
with your shirt.
I like it to pop off my shirt and everything, and then with the
We better not come in our store.
well now if I wear a suit, I will have my wife loves bow ties, so I only wear bow ties. So I'll have my bow tie and my pocket square and my socks coordinate, and it'll be totally different
Yeah,
than the
that's-
suit and everything. And so
right.
I like to have that little pop and element, even with jeans,
Right.
having something pop. But you look at a bulk of the people, and if they're wearing suits or something, they're in the black socks, and it's like there's no
Well,
designs to
More
them.
men have gotten away from that now. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
sell it. We carry them, but we sell a lot more of the
Ones.
novelty socks, whatever you want to call them.
Right. Have you ever had to like push the socks onto a man as they come in and say, I need navy socks, and say, well, what are you wearing? Where are you going?
Well, we
Maybe try adding something
we
a
still
little
have
different.
that, but
Some people are very set in their ways.
yeah.
And we have that for them.
It's
too.
usually an older guys like want just a solid color or something.
And the ones that we sell, the Ellen Addy, they're made by Kenneth Gordon's son. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he was a clothing manufacturer in Louisiana for many years. A lot of our customers remember them. They were made in Harahan, Louisiana. Kenneth Gordon
Okay.
It's a
was
great
known for
sock.
men's shirts, and they used to make ladies' clothes too. But now he sold the company, and now he has to operate under the name Gordon of New Orleans, and he owns a factory in Honduras. And
In Peru.
Peru is where they make their socks, which is the sock we sell, and their shirts are made in Honduras. But his son, Ben, owns the company called Ellen Addy, and it's a division of them. And they are the ones that make all of the socks, for the most part, that we sell that are fun. Because one thing we've learned is that we don't want a sock that's not well made.
No, you don't want
There's
to
a lot
replace
of
socks.
there are a lot of novelty socks that are cheap, and they're not good.
They don't last long.
And so we sell Dion, this company out of Canada. Their socks are made in Italy. They're expensive. They're $32 or what, but they're amazing socks. And then the Ellen Addy socks are made in Peru, and they're I think $25.
But and I think also having that conversation around the quality versus the price can go a long way for somebody on the fence about something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because when you think about, $32 or $25 a pair of socks, some people may look at that and be like, oh my gosh, I go to Walmart and I spend $12 for
Right.
24 pairs. And like, that's what they're going to wear.
Right.
But when you look at the element of adding an extra piece to your outfit, like that now becomes a part.
It's a fashion statement.
Right.
It becomes part of your outfit, and also how many times you're going to wear that specific sock.
Right.
So I joked with my wife, I buy jeans once or twice a year because I wear through my jeans. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, these jeans are, why am I wearing through these jeans? She goes, well, Patrick, you wear jeans every day. So you're wearing one pair of jeans 250, 300 times.
That's a lot.
And divided by the price you're paying it, now look at how much value you're getting out of that one piece of clothing
Right.
for every wear you get.
Right.
So if you're buying a $100 jean and you're wearing it 300 times, I mean, you're spending, 30 cents, 3 cents per wear.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you get down to the socks, and it's like you're wearing the socks 100, 200 times. Well, now
Right.
it's a lot more makes a lot more sense to purchase something of that quality
Right.
that's going to last that long. That you're not buying, you buy, you may spend $12-$20 for a pack of socks, but you're buying 10-12 packs of socks a year instead of buying one pair of socks that you're going to wear for 5-10 years.
And people, they have brand loyal. I mean, men who buy those socks, like, I love their sock. It fits great and it lasts. I want more of this sock. They'll specifically look for it. And they'll remember if it's not a good sock. So we avoid
we
that.
sell is good. Like I said, it's almost too good.
I was about to say, and that's one thing we remember what brands we like and what
yeah.
brands we don't like. And I've got like 3 brands of stuff that I'll buy and wear because that's what I've worn, that's what I've grown
I'm
accustomed
like that.
to, and like that's for everything. Everything I've got has got to be it's got to be on brand or something. Or if I'm getting introduced to something and I get hooked on that brand, and like that's the new brand.
Yep.
It's not. I wore this once. Let me try something different and hopping around. When we find something we like, we're gonna wear that for the next decade.
The other thing about the socks, it's a great gift because a lot of guys are not going to spend that much on a pair of socks for themselves. And it's a good gift because it doesn't have to fit a specific way. I mean, it's a general size.
Unless you're 15 or 16.
No, but a lot of women, a lot of
22 or whatever.
We wrap a lot of socks as gifts because it's a nice thing they can buy from a nice men's store that someone wouldn't buy themselves, and it's not as personal as like cologne or something.
Yeah.
And they don't have to know their size.
Yeah,
and
they
once
just need
they
a
wear
general
it, they're like,
size.
"Oh, this is fun. I like wearing them." So a lot of guys have been introduced to them because they were given as a gift.
Well, and it's starting to become a big thing for bridal parties.
Oh yeah.
Men, like I know my brother, I did it as well, and my in-laws, we all had crazy, they call them crazy socks.
Right.
And so every groomsman had a different sock on, and then now to the point where they're getting gifts, being asked as groomsmen, here's a pair of socks to wear for the wedding.
I mean, it's a good thing.
And it's a fashion statement. It's a different element, different flair.
Well, we had a lady that lived across the street that she'd come by 25 or 30 socks. And we'd wrap each one on with a piece of tissue paper with a ribbon on, and she'd put them in a big basket, and all the kids, the grandkids and stuff would fight over who they swap them out.
They would all pull
Grab
one
your
and
socks and swap them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The big sock swap.
But she bought at least 30 pair of socks every Christmas.
It's a good loyal customer right there.
No two the same because she wanted everybody to have a big swap.
Well, yeah, I mean that's part
They
of it.
each got 2, and then once if you didn't like
They
it, then
said
you
they
would
enjoyed
trade.
that more than anything at Christmas,
Absolutely. That's like I have 2 sock drawers. I got my plain black socks to go wear with tennis shoes, and I've got my dress socks.
Right.
And it's all different designs, and nothing's the same. I don't even own a pair of like plain black or plain khaki dress socks. It's all different.
Exactly.
And that's just I've come to love it.
I hope it's here to stay. I love it. I think it's fun.
Oh yeah.
And there's so many different things for everybody's personality. So
I mean, it's like pocket squares. It's a little piece to your outfit that can be different on its own and have its own statement. You don't have to just tuck it under your pants. We all know when you sit down or you cross your legs, your socks are going to be visible.
Right.
Why not have them say something? Have them tell a story as well.
My Todd Gorlin, when I went to work for him, he always had a pocket square. Whether he wore a sport coat with like I'm today, and without a tie or with a tie. He said one of his old statements: "You never fully dress till you have a pocket square on." Because there's not many things a man can wear that accessory wise that says I'm a man.
we get new ones in every month. Like we get new stuff in.
We
all the
handpick
time,
everything.
so.
Yeah, and we need those accessories. We need those added elements.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of men are hesitant about pocket squares. I said, okay, just
get
try
it.
one.
But once
you wear it,
biting on it,
and then women like it. I mean,
I get the hesitation.
Les Miles came in first time I sold him some stuff. I don't know if and the girls in the office said, "Oh, come on, Coach, you need to try that," And boy, after that, he's like lit a fire, and he said, "Let me see your pocket squares." First thing he'd ask me.
he wanted one for every time.
Yeah, he wanted for every outfit.
Absolutely. Oh, that's anytime I wear a suit, it's with or a jacket, it's got a pocket square, and it could be if I'm going to a funeral, it's going to be a black suit, white shirt with a black paisley tie and a white plain pocket square, but it's still a pocket square.
And it's just the outfit.
It's exactly.
And white's still number one.
Yeah, it ties everything together.
We sell
You
it
can't
in
go wrong.
silk and linen.
And cotton.
And cotton.
So you hit them all. So as we kind of start to wrap up the show, we have a set list of questions we like to ask everybody. Real hard-hitting questions. So being in the business 40 plus years and being in a family business growing up, I'm sure y'all have learned a lot of lessons along the way. So what are 3 lessons that y'all have learned throughout your time in the business?
Patience.
Be honest.
Be honest and smile.
When you mess up, be honest and try to fix it.
Yeah. I mean, that's with any business.
Kill them with kindness. I would say you learn that you have to work a lot harder than other people. That's a lesson that a lot of people think, oh, you just work at a clothing store. But I'll stay there till 11 o'clock at night, many nights, and people say, what are you doing? I said, fixing the store, rearranging, adding up the orders, the things you can't do during, in retail, you don't make appointments where you set your day. You never know who's going to walk in the door.
Right.
So you might have a task list in the morning of, I'm going to get these 10 things done. Well, then something will come in and knock that list to the side and add, and then another list, something else. There's not a lot of predictability, which is fun, but you're constantly trying to be ahead if you want to be good at it.
Yeah,
you don't just close at 6 and leave.
Trying to make a great, presentation, because a lot of people walk in, and we still get customers every day almost. How long y'all been here? 43 years.
And my dad taught me a long time ago, if we mess up an alteration or something, I just tell people, look, we messed it up. We'll do what we can to fix it. And if something doesn't look right on somebody, I tell them.
Yeah.
I feel like honesty.
Yeah, we don't want them to look bad.
I don't want to just sell it to you to get it rung up on the register.
Yeah, it's not to get it sold. It's to get the person happy.
Yeah, and they're our friends. I mean, you treat them the way
That's why we've been in business 43 years.
You treat them the way you want to be treated. We try to do that. I'm sure we have people who we've made mad.
You can't please them all, but
not everybody can be happy.
We're not working against them.
That's right. We're
on their side.
Right.
That's it. Put the best foot forward and keep moving on. So what is something y'all did as a kid you wish you could still do today?
Wish I had more energy.
Fish every day before work like you used to.
Yeah. Do more fishing. But yeah, just when when I hit 70 is when it kind of hits you, man.
Yeah, start losing some of that initial energy.
I still got the brain of an 18-year-old, but the body of a 100-year-old.
I miss the disconnect. I liked being disconnected from the world as a kid. Kids today are not disconnected. Like I miss that feeling that, I could just go sit in my room and read my book, and I didn't have a care in the world, and I didn't know what other people were doing and didn't care.
Yeah, it was
I
just
was
you
safe
in
in
that
my own
moment.
house, and I could sit there and read my book. And I don't think anybody's that way anymore. There's so much information through your cell phone, through TV, through everything. I mean, it's good, but it's also you're never really chilling out, I guess.
Never unplugged.
No.
Always plugged into something.
Depends on your age too.
You're not unplugged. You turn on the TV all the time.
Yeah, I watch the TV, but I'm learning something.
There you go. So what is something you love about Baton Rouge?
People and food. 2 things.
Okay. But more than the people and the food.
I love being in a college town.
Okay.
I think all the things around the college town are fun. The people are fun, but we
I wish we had more connection to the.
we get a lot of our customers went to college here, and they move away, and they still come see us when they come in for the football. Drives a lot of tourism, and a lot of our customers live all over, and they will come in down Thursday night, spend all day Friday shopping. They'll come by and see us, even if they only buy a T-shirt. Even if they don't buy anything, they come by. Oh, I loved coming here when I was in college, and I don't know, just the consistency of that is fun to see.
Yeah, the fall season is the best.
Yeah, being in a college town, I think we're lucky to have a store in a college town.
It's when LSU football is good, the whole town's good. When LSU football's bad, we eat a lot.
Yeah,
we eat and drink a lot.
Oh yeah, but we get a lot of people that they come in town because they're coming to the LSU game, and they'll buy their fall wardrobe when they're in town. They don't necessarily buy just something to wear to the game. They'll pick out a sport coat or whatever they need because men are very loyal to whatever store they like.
And then buy a lot of gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But being in a college
close
town
to that time.
is fun. And I went to LSU, my daughters, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, like many generations, my parents.
Yeah,
So-
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
So for the final question, what can I do to help you?
Promote it.
We're going to promote it for sure.
You tell everybody about us.
Yeah.
Maybe I can supply some customer photos for you.
There you go.
You and Frank can do a TikTok together.
Oh, me and Frank on the TikTok.
That would be good.
Okay, we got to do that
Y'all got to
now.
figure out when to do it.
All right. We can have.
And
we
what
can
song,
handle
because
that.
I don't know how to pick the song. But
We'll figure it out. I got to get you, Frank. I got to get you doing a sorority dance or something.
Yeah.
We'll test out your dancing skills.
it would be funny.
I've been known to cut a rug.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all so much for coming
Yeah,
on
it
the
was
show.
fun. It
I
was
appreciate
fun.
y'all's time and making this work. I know that retail is an ever busy season.
I don't know. Our life is just crazy.
Well, it's interesting.
It worked out, and Monday's better for him anyway.
Well,
because
perfect. So thank
he
y'all for
wasn't
coming.
tired. He didn't work today, so he was good.
Oh, good. You had some time off.
Yep. I watched the History Channel a bunch, and
You didn't go fishing?
no,
Too hot.
too damn hot.
It is hot, but it didn't really rain today.
No, it didn't. I'd be lucky there. But
Don't jinx us. It'll be raining tomorrow.
our house sits on 2 acres. We like it to rain a lot, though.
Yeah, keep that grass growing. Well, thank y'all
Keep
so
the garden
much
going.
Yeah.
for coming. I appreciate it. And I thank
We
you,
enjoyed it.
everybody else, whether you're watching or listening to the show. I really appreciate it. I know the guests do as well. Gentlemen, if you're in the Baton Rouge area or maybe you're coming into town, make sure to check out McLavy's. They're right there on the corner of Jefferson and Old Hammond, right?
Right
Old
next to
Hammond Corporate,
Calvin's.
right next to
Correct.
Calvin's Bocage Market. They're going to take care of you from your shoes all the way to Pocket Square. Go over there and let them know the Patty G Show sent you. Thank you all so very much. It's been the latest episode of the Patty G Show, and a big, wonderful thanks to the amazing sponsors that make this show possible. Hear a little bit more about them right now.
Sell your home for a $399 flat fee with Falaya. No, seriously. Falaya will list your home on the MLS and help you get all the way to the closing table for as little as a $399 flat fee. Our online platform is insanely easy to use and will save you thousands. If you're thinking about selling your home in 2022 and want to keep more of your hard-earned equity in your pocket, you need to check out Falaya. Falaya, real estate reimagined.
So very much for listening to this episode of the Patty G Show, brought to you by Government Taco. They're located on the corner of Government Street and Jefferson Highway. Jay is always slinging up a new taco of the month, so if you're a frequenter to Government Taco, let us know in the comments what you thought about this month's taco of the month. If you're not a frequenter, maybe trying out this month's taco might just convert you. Big thanks over to them at Government Taco for making the Patty G Show possible.
Imagine taxiing on a plane looking toward the end of the runway. It seems so far away, it's even hard to see it. And that's what the concept of retirement probably felt like when you were in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, way far in the distance, not visible or even a concern. But as you turn 50, something happens. Retirement suddenly seems like something real, something not too far away. In your 50s, you are rolling down the runway. Retirement is getting closer and closer, faster and faster, weeks and months zipping by. But are you even ready for a successful takeoff to retirement? Fear not, there's still runway left. But the time is now. Time to make progress and time to get a plan. The Runway Decade will help you get organized, get energized, and give you the direction you need to take off to your desired retirement. The Runway Decade, building a pre-retirement flight plan in your 50s.
Thank you to Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge for making this show possible. Nick Pentis is a past guest. We love having him on. Listening to him talk about the culture they have over at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge is really an incredible thing to hear. How they treat not only their employees, but every customer that walks through the door. You are more than just a number to them. They're going to give you that white glove concierge service every step of the way. They're going to make you feel like family and take what can be a stressful time in people's life, shopping for a car. They're going to make it so enjoyable and so pleasurable. You're going to want to go back there time and time again for every new vehicle. Thank you so very much for Mercedes-Benz of making this show possible. Thank you so very much to Mallard Bay Outdoors, the Airbnb for the outdoor sportsman. If you're looking to book a hunt or a fishing trip, this is the platform to use. They were a past guest at the Patty G Show. We got to learn all about what they're doing from the ground up. They are really revolutionizing the booking process for hunts and fish all across the country. For your next hunting or fishing experience, or maybe your corporate retreat, you're looking for something to do for your employees, book a hunt or a fishing trip with Mallard Bay Outdoors, and they will take care of you every step of the way, from organizing it with the guides and the captains to making sure you can take care of them at the end of the trip. Mallard Bay Outdoors, a proud sponsor of the Patty G Show.